It's an everyday thing, it's an everyday thing, it's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
The Holman investigation, I mean, can you just speak to, did the president ask the Justice Department to close the case, and does Holman have to return the $50,000?
Well, Mr. Holman never took the $50,000 that you're referring to, so you should get your facts straight, number one. Number two, this was another example of the weaponization of the Biden Department of Justice against one of President Trump's strongest and most vocal supporters.
That was White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt last week telling reporters to get their facts straight about the FBI's investigation into border czar Tom Homan for a cash for contracts scheme. It was first reported by MSNBC. Now MSNBC has ironed out more of those details on how Homan became a part of that FBI sting. Sources familiar with the investigation and a government document reviewed by MSNBC say Homan was not entrapped by undercover FBI agents, as Leavitt suggested, but rather that those agents were repeatedly steered.
I don't know if y'all just heard me, but I was just talking about her. This might be some Lewinsky going on. I might have been muted, but yeah, anyway. Yeah, this is a picture of her from last night. So yeah, I don't know, do with it what you will. I don't know. I don't know where this picture came from. It could be AI. It could be AI.
To Homan by one of his own associates. Julian Jace Calderas, a former U.S. immigration official who worked under Homan in the Obama administration, allegedly proposed to the agents who were posing as businessmen that Homan could help them win lucrative federal contracts if Donald Trump became president again in exchange for $1 million. Calderas first allegedly proposed the scheme in May 2023 and continued to do so for more than a year until that September 2024 meeting in Dallas where agents allegedly recorded Homan accepting $50,000 in cash. Instead of immediately moving to file charges, those agents waited to see what would happen after Homan joined the Trump administration as the nation's top immigration official. But when Donald Trump won, his DOJ shut the whole investigation down. The White House has criticized the investigation as a politically motivated inquiry by the Biden administration, and Homan has denied he did anything wrong.
On the Holman investigation,
controversy swirling around Tom Homan, President Trump's border czar. The New York Times reports that Homan was recorded accepting a bag with $50,000 in cash. It was from FBI agents posing as business executives in an undercover sting. What can you tell us about this?
Well, we know this was an investigation that was broader than Tom Homan, and according to the Times, he wasn't actually the original target. But as you and I both know from covering the department, to get to the point where you do a sting operation, there is a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, and that includes trying to build probable cause and to try to get approvals from some of the higher level officials at the Justice Department before you can do something like this. And so the question at this hour is why did the investigation get shut down under this administration? The previous administration decided not to bring it before they left office. We know that according to Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and Kash Patel, the FBI director, they say that they shut it down because there was not enough evidence there to support it. Obviously, the White House has said that it is a political investigation. It was a political attack on Tom Homan.
Mr. Homan did absolutely nothing wrong, and even the President's Department of Justice, even Kash Patel's FBI, looked into this just to make sure. They had a number of different prosecutors and FBI agents who looked into this. They found zero evidence of illegal activity or criminal wrongdoing. In the White House and the President stand by Tom Homan 100%.
Man, I don't believe anything if you put any of those names together in any order. I don't believe nothing they say. Anything that them people say, when you put those names together in a sentence and you using all their names and you say, oh, well, they said this and there's not this, somebody fucking lying. There's somebody lying.
seeing is believing, at least for some of us, because as we know, January 6th is highly disputed about what happened on that day. But, you know, especially if he's not going to come clean about what he did, and with all the conspiracies that this White House and this administration is constantly putting out, the best thing that we can do is have some proof for those that actually want to know the truth. So I hope that we can get that video footage, but last I checked, we're still having problems getting the rest of these Epstein files out of the Department of Justice. So I'm not really sure. It seems like the Attorney General is too busy trying to figure out if the president is tweeting her about something or truthing her or whatever you want to call it, or texting. I'm not really sure, because he's real concerned about Tish James and trying to figure out why we can't prosecute Tish James. Yet sitting in his administration, it seems clear that he has plenty of criminals amongst him, including himself, that maybe should be prosecuted, but we're not going to talk about that.
Now, I don't like Texas too much. Like, I hate Texas Longhorns. I hate the Chevy got that Texas Lone Star truck. I hate Texas tea. I hate Texas toast. I love the Dallas Cowboys, and I love me some Jasmine Crockett. Okay? Just to let y'all know.
Tom, I want to give you a chance to address this article that came out over the weekend, and it was on our always reliable MSNBC, and they said that you took $50,000 in cash in a bag from an undercover FBI agent to help them win government contracts in Trump's second term. The DOJ said they concluded there was no criminal wrongdoing, but nevertheless, that story is out there, and I imagine you want to respond to that.
Oh, absolutely. Look, I did nothing criminal. I did nothing illegal. And it's hit piece after hit piece after hit piece. And I'm glad the FBI and DOJ came out and said, said that nothing illegal happened and nothing, no criminal activity. You're talking about a guy who spent 34 years enforcing the law. I mean, I left a very successful business that I ran to come back and work for a government again. I'm back on a government paycheck. Not only did I sacrifice my family sacrifices, I make sacrifices every day. I got more death threats than anybody. I got a security team around me, but guess what? My kids don't. My wife don't. I mean, I haven't lived with my wife in months because I don't want her to be here right now with all the threats. So after all the sacrifice...
Oh, he trying to get her off. I got security by me, but my wife don't. Did you get that? He trying to get rid of her.
After serving my nation for all these years, they want to come out and dirty me up. And it's not going to end. There's a hit piece on me every 2 weeks. But keep coming, because you know what? Tom Homan isn't going anywhere. Tom Homan isn't shutting up. And Tom Homan's going to keep doing what he's doing, because working with President Trump's the greatest honor of my life. We're making this country safer again every day, and we're going to keep doing it.
Tom, I want to...
Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, says nobody is above the law. But let me bring up the case of Tom Homan. He was here last week. Again, Republicans show up, and I so appreciate it. And I even said...
I'm here for it.
I know. I even said, thank you for the... he's been doing this since the 80s. He's done some good things. I don't agree with the things he's doing, a lot of them with ICE. But it came out the next day. By the way, the people who were all saying, Bill, why didn't you ask him about this? Because it hadn't happened yet last week. The next day, an undercover sting operation recorded Tom Homan taking $50,000 in cash in a bag. A bag. Now, we're not going to call this a bribe, because that's what normal people do. They take money in a bag. And the FBI, again, because we are way past having an independent FBI or Justice Department, says we're not pursuing it. I want to get your feelings on this, and then also your feelings on what Megyn Kelly tweeted, which I want to know if this is your feeling too. It seems to be she's speaking for a lot of Republicans. She said, "We do not care. Bag of cash in a paper bag. We do not care." Is that where you are?
Well, no, I take on Republicans and Democrats. I call them balls and strikes. In fact, I'm going, no, 100%.
Come on, man.
No, I absolutely am. And my record shows that. But what Kash Patel said is that they investigated this. It was not true. He didn't take a bag of cash. And that there is.
It's on tape.
Have you heard the tape? I haven't heard the tape. I would rather hear the tape and hear what's going on, but Kash Patel said they investigated it, that he did not do that, and this was the Biden administration targeting him, trying to ensnare him in something he did not do, and then the White House stated this week that it didn't happen, and case closed. That's what they said. That's what the FBI said. They investigated.
Okay, well, then I made this hat for you. It's, we do not care. Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, says nobody is above the...
So did they give it to him in like a brown paper bag or like a bank bag? I mean, if they gave it to him in a brown paper bag, you thinking drug deal, this looks sketchy. Like a 50,000, I don't know how many of y'all ever had $50,000 cash, but depending on how you have it, like if you got it like drug dealer money where you got like all crinkled up bills and stuff and you gotta fold them out, and the 50,000 could look like a big stack. Or if you got 50,000 from the bank, what do you have, like 10 stacks of $20 bills? Oh no, 10 stacks, 5 stacks, or is it 10 stacks of $20 bills and $5,000 bill or $5,000 stacks like that. Okay, or you got 10 stacks of 100 or 5 stacks of 100, which is $5,000, or 50,000 or $10,000. I'm tripping, my math is off. $10,000, you got 5 stacks. So then you got this brown paper bag you walk around with. I think it was like a bank bag, or maybe maybe he got a fanny pouch or something. I don't fucking know, but whatever he had, it was $50,000, and they making a mockery of it, saying it was a brown paper bag. So as long as you make a mockery of it, then you can convince people how stupid it sounds. But really, this could be really happening. And lo and behold, $50,000 isn't much for a bribe crime in government. So that's what begs me to believe that this is false. But there's a case that it could be true. But when people say that there's a video, I think if there is a video, I don't believe we'll see this video in this administration. If there's a video left after this administration, and we won't see the Epstein files. We won't see this tape. We won't see anything that will tie Donald Trump to anything negative anymore. He's getting everybody out of there who is not a bootlicker. If you're not licking Trump's boots, he don't want you working for him. That's why he has the FBI. That's why he has ICE agents, the Department of Justice, all his cronies in there. And if you turn on him, he'll get you out of there. As simple as that.
What we learned was that the FBI found allegations that Tom Homan had been offering to influence federal contracts in the new Trump administration when he got into office, and he would do so in exchange for money. So they began investigating him, and shockingly enough, they started an undercover probe and recorded Homan actually receiving and accepting $50,000 in cash in a paper bag. What happened was he took the money in September 20th, 2024. And at that point, he could conceivably have been charged with the crime of conspiracy or fraud. But the FBI and the Justice Department under President Biden decided to wait and continue monitoring Tom Homan to see, would he try to influence the contract once he was a public official? Once Donald Trump named him as border czar, would he touch back with the business executives, the FBI agents who were posing as contractors? Would he offer to do more for them? Would he ask for more money? Would he essentially engage in criminal conduct while he was a public official? But then the probe got stalled as soon as Trump's appointees took over the reins at the FBI and the Justice Department, and no further investigative steps were taken. When we reached out to the White House, the FBI, and the Justice Department, and asked them about why this investigation was closed. They said that it had been a baseless investigation from the start, that the Biden administration appeared to have targeted Holman unfairly, and that they found no credible evidence that he was engaged in any criminal wrongdoing. Of course, our sources felt very differently, that the investigation had been frozen and mothballed, and they weren't able to pursue the leads that they had after recording Holman receiving money. Members of Congress on the Democratic side of the aisle are going to be pushing to investigate this further, that they are really disturbed that an investigation that involved a recording of the then private citizen, Tom Holman, taking cash raises all sorts of questions and makes them think there was a credible reason to continue investigating him, and that public corruption is serious and those kinds of cases shouldn't be closed down without a good reason.
Well, if y'all want to know what happened to Greece, this is what happened.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in its